guys, welcome back to my channel EduPath Class 10 by me. So in this channel you get to know the information about your class 10 subjects. I will teach you the subject science and SST and English in this channel. So let's begin with today's video, and the topic of today's video is power sharing, chapter 1st of political science. Before starting the video, please like the video and please comment on it, and please do not forget to subscribe my channel. So let's get started. We know that in a democracy all power do not rest with any organ of the government, and an intelligent sharing of power among legislature, executive and judiciary is very important to design a democracy. So in this chapter we will learn the story of Belgium and Sri Lanka, which helps us to tell us how democracy handle demand for power sharing. So let's begin. Now first we will read the Belgium's case. Belgium is a country in Europe, which is smaller in area than the state of Haryana. Haryana is in India, as you all know. It has a population of little over 1 crore. It has borders with France, Netherlands, Germany and Luxembourg. And the country has complex ethnic population. Now in one word the question can come that what is ethnic? So ethnic is a social division based on shared culture. Okay. Now composition of population in Belgium. 59% people were Dutch speaking and they live in Flemish region. 40% were French speaking and live in Wallonia, and 1% were German speaking, and Brussels was the capital of Belgium. So how was the composition of population in Brussels as well as in the Belgium? Let's see. In the capital city Brussels, 80% people speak French while 20% were Dutch, and Dutch speaking community people are minority in capital and majority in country. And French speaking community, rich and powerful, was resented by Dutch speaking community who got the benefit of economic development and education. And this led to tension between the Dutch speaking and French speaking communities during 1950s and 1960s. And the tension between these two community was more severe in Brussels. Now what was Sri Lanka's case? Sri Lanka is an island and on the southern coast of Tamil Nadu, and its population is about 2 crore. And the ethnic composition was at that time was Tamil speakers if 18% थे, Sinhala speakers 74% थे. तमिल पॉपुलेशन जो थी, तमिल के जो नेटिव्स थे, मतलब तमिल लोग जो थे उधर दो ग्रुप में डिवाइडेड थे, और वो थे श्रीलंका तमिल्स और इंडियन तमिल्स. इंडियन तमिल्स वो थे जिनके फोर फादर्स और 4 पेरेंट्स प्लांटेशन के टाइम, कॉलोनी पीरियड के टाइम एज अ प्लांटेशन वर्कर श्रीलंका में आए थे, तो उन लोगों को इंडियन तमिल्स कहा जाता था. और श्रीलंकन तमिल्स थे 13%. रिलीजियस कंपोजिशन कैसे था? बुद्धिस्ट जो थे उधर मेन रिलीजन जो है उधर का बुद्धिज़्म है, तो सिन्हाला स्पीकर्स उधर ज़्यादा थे, तो सिन्हाला ज़्यादा थे. बुद्धिस्ट रिलीजन है तो उसके बुद्धिस्ट को फॉलो करने वाले सिन्हाला स्पीकर 74% थे. हिंदूज और मुस्लिम और तमिल स्पीकर 18% थे. क्रिश्चियंस 7% थे जो तमिल और सिन्हाला दोनों हैं. Now just imagine what would happen in these situations. In Belgium, the Dutch community could take the advantage of its numeric majority and force its will on French and German-speaking population. Now, this would push the conflict among communities further, and this could lead to a very messy partition of the country. Both the sides would claim control over Brussels. And in Sri Lanka, the Sinhala community enjoyed an even bigger majority and could impose its will on their entire country. Now, what was majoritarianism? It is a belief that majority community should be able to rule a country in whichever way it wants, by disregarding the wishes and needs of the country. Okay, understood? Now, when Sri Lanka emerged as an independent country in 1984, please learn this. When did the Sri Lanka emerge as an independent country? It emerged as an independent country in 1948. and as a result, democratically elected government adopted a series of majoritarian measures to establish Sinhala supremacy. एंड इन 1956 एक एक्ट पास हुआ था जिसमें सिन्हाला को ही उसकी ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज माना गया और तमिल को डिसरिगार्ड करा गया. सिन्हाला जो लोग थे उनको ज़्यादा प्रेफरेंशियल ट्रीटमेंट दिए गए, उनको गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स मिली और यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में भी अच्छे अच्छे पोजीशंस मिले. और जो न्यू कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन था उसमें ये एक लॉ बनाया गया कि लोग बुद्धिज़्म को बढ़ाएंगे और बुद्धिज़्म को प्रोटेक्ट करेंगे. और सब and all these government measures coming one after the other gradually started increasing the feeling of alienation among the Sri Lankan Tamils. Now what was the reaction of Sri Lankan Tamils? They felt that none of the major political party led by Buddhist Sinhala leader was sensitive to their language and culture. Now they felt that constitution and government policies denied them equal political right and discriminated against them in getting jobs. And now Sri Lankan Tamils launched party and struggles. So they started to get recognition recognizing Tamil as an official language. They wanted regional autonomy and they wanted equal opportunity. This was not wrong. Their demands were not wrong. So let's see what happened next. Now as a result, the relation between Sinhala and Tamil communities strained over time. By 1980, several political organizations demanding on independent Tamil Eelam. Eelam means here state. Northern and southern parts of Sri Lanka, the distrust between two communities turned into widespread conflict and ended with the civil war. And the result of civil war was thousands were killed and many became refugees. Several loss to the social, cultural and economic life of the country, and this civil war ended in 2009. Now civil war तो पढ़ लिया, पर civil war होता क्या है? Civil war is a conflict, violent conflict between opposing groups within a country that becomes so influenced, so intense that it appears like a war. Did you know that the liberation tiger of Tamil Eelam, LTTE, it is a guerrilla organ and it was formed to establish an independent Tamil state Eelam. Now how does the accommodation in Belgium occur? The Belgium leader took different parts. बेल्जियम लोगों ने अलग ही अपना रास्ता चुना. श्रीलंका की तरह उन्होंने कुछ नहीं करा, उन्होंने शांति प्रिय करके सब करा. उन्होंने 1970 और 1993 के बीच में 4 कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट्स करे ताकि लोगों को पीसफुल लिविंग मिल सके कंट्री में. एक उन्होंने गवर्नमेंट बनाई जिसका नाम था कम्युनिटी गवर्नमेंट. ये उन लोगों की गवर्नमेंट थी जहाँ पर मतलब जो पावर में लोग हैं वो ना किसी कल्चर को डिसरिगार्ड कर सकते थे, ना एजुकेशन सिस्टम को, ना लैंग्वेज रिलेटेड इश्यूज़ को, और इन सब पे वो काम करती थी. इन सब की पावर थी उस कम्युनिटी गवर्नमेंट के पास. और जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन था वो प्रिस्क्राइब करता था कि जो नंबर ऑफ डच और फ्रेंच स्पीकिंग मिनिस्टर्स हैं वो दोनों सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में इक्वल रहें. सबॉर्डिनेट्स ऑफ द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, बहुत सारी पावर सेंट्रल पावर की स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को भी दी गई यानी सबॉर्डिनेट गवर्नमेंट को. और ब्रुसेल की एक अपनी गवर्नमेंट बनाई गई और एक लास्ट गवर्नमेंट थी कम्युनिटी गवर्नमेंट जिसका मैंने बताया. और बेल्जियम मॉडल इज़ कॉम्प्लेक्स. बेल्जियम का मॉडल बहुत ही ज़्यादा कंफ्यूजिंग था तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा बेस्ट था. उन्होंने बड़ी शांति से सब काम करा था और इन सब ने सिविल वॉर को अवॉइड करा. और सम रीज़न से इसी रीज़न से ब्रुसेल को यूरोपियन यूनियन का हेडक्वार्टर बनाया गया है. एंड now what did we learn from the stories of Sri Lanka and Belgium? Both the countries are democracies, but they dealt with the question of power sharing differently. Okay, बेल्जियम वालों ने लीडर को, बेल्जियम के जो लीडर थे उन्होंने यूनिटी ऑफ द कंट्री रियलाइज़ करी और उन्होंने पॉसिबल इफ़ेक्ट डाले कि पॉसिबली ऐसे इफ़ेक्ट डाले कि हर किसी की फीलिंग हर्ट ना हो और हर किसी की कम्युनिटी की फीलिंग हर्ट ना हो और ना कोई रिलीजन या रीजन उसका पीछे छूटे या लैंग्वेज उसके पीछे छूटे। और ये रिजल्ट करता है कि म्यूचुअली एक्सेप्टेबल अरेंजमेंट्स भी पावर शेयरिंग है। बट श्रीलंका में एक अलग ही एग्जाम्पल था। उन्होंने मेजॉरिटी कम्युनिटी वालों ने डोमिनेंस स्टार्ट कर दिया एंड पावर को शेयर करने से मना कर दिया, जिसकी वजह से सिविल वॉर क्रिएट हुआ। नाउ व्हाई पावर शेयर इज डिजायरेबल? First reason is prudential. Based on prudence or on careful calculation of gains and losses, prudential decisions are usually contrasted with decision-based purely and morally considerations. There are two different reasons in favor of power sharing. Prudential reason, power sharing will bring our better outcomes, and moral reason, emphasize the very act of power sharing is valuable. Now, forms of power sharing. The idea of power sharing has emerged as a opposition to the notions of undivided political parties, and all power of the government must reside in one person or group. And on the basis of in democracy, in modern democracy, power sharing arrangement can take many forms. First is horizontal, between organs. Second, vertical or federal. Third, pressure groups and movements. Fourth, among different social groups. One basic principle of the democracy is that people are the source of all political power, and good democratic government give due respect to the diverse groups and views that exist in a society. Therefore, it follows that democracy political power should be distributed among as many citizens as possible. So, what is horizontal power sharing? It allows different organs of government placed at same level to exercise different power, and each organ check the other. This results in balance of power among various situations, and this is also called as check and balance system. And this power have three organs: legislature, who makes the law; executive, who execute the law; and judiciary, who watches that who are keeping the law and who are not keeping. Okay. Now, vertical power sharing. It is also known as federal government, and the general government for the entire country is known as union government. Such a general government for the entire country is also called as federal government. Then comes the state government, then comes the local government, then comes the municipality and panchayat. Now, federal division of power, same thing. Federal division of power is also known as vertical power sharing. Such a general government for the entire country is known as federal government. In India, we refer to it as central or union government. And the government at the provincial or regional level are called by different names in different countries. In India, we call them state government. India has 3-tier division of power instead of 2-tier. The same principle can be extended to levels of government lower than state government, such as municipality and panchayat. Now, among different social groups, power may also be shared among different social groups such as religious and linguistic groups. Example is the Belgium community government of Belgium, and minority communities get a fair share in the power. Power sharing arrangement can also be seen in the way political parties, pressure groups and movements control or influence these in power. Now, among political parties in contemporary democracies, competition among different parties ensures that power does not remain in one hand. In the long run, power is shared among different political parties that represent different ideologies and social groups. A form of government in which political parties cooperate, reducing the dominance of any one party within that is known as coalition party. Coalition government. Coalition government को हिंदी में गठबंधन सरकार कहते हैं, गठबंधन वाली सरकार. ओके, जैसे हमारी एनडीए है वो गठबंधन होके बनी है. Or among interest group, in a democracy, various interest groups will have share in governmental power. Pressure groups, groups of people who are organized actively for promoting and defending their common interests. And in 2011, Indian anti-corruption movement was started, and in chapter cartoons. This cartoons at the left refers to the problems of running the Germany grand coalition government. that includes the two major parties of the country, namely the Christian Democratic Union and the Social Democratic Union. The two parties are historically rivals to each other. They had to form a coalition government because neither of them got clear majority of seats in their own in 2005 elections. They take divergent position on several policy matters but still jointly run their government. This figure shows that in 2005 some new laws were made in Russia giving more powers to the president. During the same time the US president visited Russia. The cartoon explains a good democracy opposes the idea of concentration of power. It welcomes the idea of sharing of power for the smooth running of the government. One basic principle of the democracy is that people are the ultimate source of all political power. Giving more power to the Russian president means power is concentrated in one person, which is against the principle of democracy. Now NCERT questions, please see it, and if you want to take the screenshot, you can. Thank you. Please like my channel, please like my videos, and please share my videos and help us to increase my subscribers. And don't forget to subscribe my channel. Till then, bye bye.